All right, it is chest day, or should I say chest night. Chest night sounds like a alternate to chestnut. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. All right, enough of that. You'll notice I said chest night and not chest and tricep night. Got the blood red pump potion. We are effectively eliminating any arm movements paired with any other muscle group starting last week, I guess. Even though it wasn't much of a workout because we were on a bit of a time crunch. So, what does that mean? It means more undivided attention to our chest, and it means more undivided attention to our triceps. As a result of separating triceps and arms altogether from chest and back, we now add another day into our workout split. Now, because we add another day, that means we have another additional 24 hours added into all the already existing hours until we hit chest again or any other muscle group. So what that means is an additional rest day, which, not really a rest day as far as doing nothing, but there are now more days in between doing chest and then hitting chest again, which is only going to serve to help us get stronger in, ironically enough, a quicker amount of time. So that's why we're doing that. Now, the chest has been making a lot of progress, especially as far as strength goes, especially as far as incline bench press goes. Now, as far as chest shape and size goes, we're also making progress in that department. Compliments of the bulk. Now, at some point, we're going to have to stop the bulk. We're going to have to start the cut. Not just for aesthetic purposes, but for health purposes, for cardiovascular purposes. Bulking's fun and everything, but if you bulk for too long, you might find yourself turning into a bit of a power lifter from both a physique standpoint and a performance standpoint. If you bulk for too long, you'll notice your stamina, your endurance begins to dwindle. And that's why it's important to every now and then kind of reset the clock, do a few months of dieting at a bit of a calorie deficit to get you back to a weight that is obviously not the same or less than what your weight was at the beginning of a bulk, but maybe about 10 pounds more, just for the sake of being able to re-up your conditioning and your cardiovascular status so that after those few months of cutting, you can bulk even more without having to worry about being out of breath the entire time. Because even though I am getting bigger and stronger, I am noticing that my cardiovascular performance is less than ideal right now. So we're just going to take it on a daily basis, finish the remainder of this month bulking, contemplate about how far we want to bulk into April, if any at all. And then we'll start our cut. I can tell as far as the bulk goes, my body's in a really good place because it's actually utilizing the calories that it's given throughout the day. I don't necessarily feel like sluggish after a meal. Another thing too is that when I go a little too long without eating, which too long without eating for me is about 3 hours, I feel like dog shit. Part of that is because my metabolism is so used to having to run on a higher level of performance, intaking these higher amounts of calories, that when I go too long without, eating anything, my body really begins to kind of, I don't want to say eat itself, but it taps into the glycogen stores in the muscles, I feel like, a little bit more easily than if I was on a cut. So the body needs fuel is what I'm getting at, more frequently when you're on a bulk than when you're on a cut. When you're on a cut, your body kind of gradually over time adjusts to the caloric deficit, and then, you can up your cardio or you can increase how much of a deficit you're eating at to prevent yourself from plateauing as far as weight loss goes. There's ways to overcome that. But I don't want to get too much into diet. This isn't a diet channel. This is a workout channel. I usually incorporate at the end of my chest movements chest press, but I think we're going to start doing some flat bench dumbbell press. The reason why I usually don't do flat bench barbell press, traditional flat bench press, is, to be honest, I really don't think that it works your chest that much. I think it's a good compound movement for working chest and triceps. I think it's good for getting stronger, especially if you're playing some sort of sport like defensive or offensive lineman, where that push mechanism is really important to be strong in. But I think I think it's way more impressive to be strong at incline bench press, because typically people are weaker on incline than they are on flat bench. Someone who incline benches 315, I feel like, is way more impressive than someone who flat benches 315. If you don't believe me, try it for yourself. See if you can incline as many times the weight that you can flat bench. But getting back to dumbbell flat bench, the reason why I want to incorporate that is because you can manipulate the positioning of your hands a little bit more to actually hit the chest better than that of the triceps. And because it's dumbbells and they're disconnected, they're not, a bar, so to speak, you can really squeeze the dumbbells together at the top, at the apex of the movement, which again is going to work your pec muscles a lot better. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of weight we can throw up with that movement. I've tried 90s and 95s before. I've gotten 90s, but 95s have been a little bit of a struggle in the past off camera. We'll see how we do tonight. I got my pump potion here. A little bit of creatine, a little bit of electrolyte powder, and a lot of bit of pre-workout. Because these later night workouts, you kind of need a little extra fuel to get you going, especially if you've had a long day. And I have definitely had a long day. So that's going to come into play, along with the food that I've eaten throughout the day. Plenty of chicken. I had my 100-gram protein shake. Actually, it was more like 85, because the milk that I got yesterday, it's not Fairlife milk, so it doesn't have as much protein. Dude, I don't know what Fairlife puts in their milk to make their protein so high, But if you go to the grocery store, 8 to 9 grams of protein is pretty much the standard across the board as far as milks go, even with whole milk. So the fact that Fairlife is able to dish out 14 grams consistently, I mean, that's pretty impressive. And that's per cup. And I usually drink at least 2, to be honest, maybe 3 cups of milk with my 3 scoops of protein shake. And I mean, it's a quick 100. It's a bit tough to get down in the morning, albeit. But first thing in the morning, you know, when your stomach's empty, you need that fuel right away. It is a good source of both protein and carbohydrates to kind of wake your metabolism up, get your body started, and get you going for the day. But I think that's all I got for you guys for the time being. I'm going to cut this video here, and I will see you all in the gym.